Thanks everybody for coming. I want to thank, Councilman Coghill, Councilman Kraus, Chief of Operations, Kinsey Casey, Chief of Staff, Dan Gilman, Mayor Peduto, and the community for coming today. So the city's had a presence on Matthew Street, 1949, acquired that parcel of property over there. In 71, we purchased an old bakery and we converted it into a public works division. So for 70 years, we've been here in this community providing service. And today we're talking about the next steps about how we can continue that service for the next 70 years. This public works division was the passion project of former director Mike Gable, and I want to thank him for his leadership in that. He realized the value of a public works division to the community, and he was a huge advocate for it. I want to thank Council President Cale Smith, Councilmans Kraus and Coghill for their just tireless and unwavering support of this project. I know it has been an odyssey, but we're nearing the end. And I also want to thank Mayor Peduto for his vision and his understanding of the importance of infrastructure to a community, and also his courage and his commitment to see that vision through. This public works project that we're going to have coming up is a really large endeavor. What you're going to see here is we're going to have a true campus for public works that's integrated into the community. We're going to have trees and plants that manage stormwater and beautify the neighborhood. We're going to have parking, EV chargers for 10 city vehicles, 10 city pickups. We are going to have pedestrian connections so that folks that live on Matthews can get through the site safely with lighting to Bausman Street and to the park nearby. And we're going to have a large building that's energy efficient and uses the minimal amount of energy necessary to support this 24 operation. So these items that I'm talking about right now, these are not luxury items. These are a necessity. It's necessary for citizens to have their clean streets, safe streets and parks. And it's necessary for us to have a clean and safe environment for our employees to work in. And I can think of nothing better than this project and what it means to this community that's fought so hard for this service. I want to thank everybody, and I want to introduce Jeff Cook up to the podium here.
Thanks, Chris. I want to thank you for actually inviting me here to speak. I just wanted to throw out a couple facts, fun facts anyway. I actually started at that bakery back in 1980, 41 years ago as a laborer for the City of Pittsburgh. So basically almost come full circle. I know that the building in this new building will be a certain morale boost for the employees, because some 30 years ago, we were working out of this building and it was actually condemned at the time, and they were actually building a brand new EMS station. So Public Works is very happy to have a new building. And just a little bit of history, actually, I put that wall in there probably 25 years ago. It looks like it's ready to fall over as many times as it's been hit and damaged, but but seriously though, I just want to seriously thank Mayor Peduto and all of council and everybody that's had a hand in, putting this together. I'm sure the neighbors and all of DPW will take it seriously with their jobs. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Who's the next speaker? Next speaker will be Councilman Kraus. Sorry.
Wow. So good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for being here. It has been a while and a bit of a time coming, but all good things come to those who wait. And it's a good day. It's a really, really good day. You know, we had had a couple setbacks. Public Works and our planning department and the administration and our Mayor Peduto had worked tirelessly on designing this campus with the fact that the house that Bonnie King used to live in would remain because the owner wasn't willing to sell at the time. And then after all the work was done, the owner came to the city and said, you know what, I think I'm ready to let it go. And so we went through the process, bought the property, and completely redesigned the campus. And so what you heard is what's coming here is state of the art. This will be the crown jewel of the Public Works Department, and that it will be your 21st century version of what a Public Works facility is to look like. Completely integrated into the neighborhood as though it was intended to be so. State-of-the-art mechanisms, as you heard the acting director speak to, and a great launching pad to provide public works services to all of South and Southwest Pittsburgh, which is, you know, our obligation as your elected leaders, right? So I do want to recognize Mayor Peduto, his friendship, his support for many, many, many years, and his commitment to South Pittsburgh neighborhoods, to the West End, to the West Pittsburgh neighborhoods, sometimes to Anthony's, you know, give or take. No, I'm kidding. No. Anthony, he gets, trust me, Anthony gets his fair share. But anyway, it's you know, it takes a team, and we're a great team. You know, we have a great council that works in cooperation with the Mayor Peduto and his administration, and that's how good things like this come to be. We're a cooperative effort here. And one thing just beyond the public services that we're obligated to deliver, we are obligated to provide safe working space for our employees. And this campus had ceased being that a very, very long time ago. And we owe it to the hardworking men and women of the City of Pittsburgh, and especially today within the Department of Public Works, to provide shelter that is safe for them to inhabit and to provide the services that we need. So this is a win for the residents of South and West Pittsburgh and our employees that deliver the services that we ask for. So it's a big win and a really big day, and I genuinely appreciate all of you coming out today to share it with us. So with that, you can applaud. That's okay. Thank you. With that, I get the pleasure of introducing my friend and my colleague, Anthony Coghill, who, without his help, support, and assistance, and Council President Kell Smith, I'm not sure we would have gotten here today. So, Councilman, come on up.
Thank you, Councilman Kraus. I can't tell you when they gave me the date that we were going to kick this off, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I expected Councilman Kraus and Councilwoman Kell Smith and the mayor to jump out of a box and say April Fools, you know, so it's been a long time coming, you know, and let me just take you back. My first week in office, being a lifelong contractor, I just knew the importance and the logistics of having a Public Works division in the neighborhood where they're not coming from the other side of town. So my very first meeting with the mayor and now Madam President, Councilwoman Kell Smith was with me, and it was the first thing on my agenda. And, you know, I really have to take my hats off to the mayor. You know, I didn't really expect it for this to come to fruition from that one meeting, but it really started there. He listened to me, he understood the logistics, and, you know, and here we are breaking ground for it. I always say it as this: I went in there kind of like screaming and crying, I need a new division, we need a division in the neighborhood, and I'd like to think that's what got it done, but I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge, at the time, Council President Bruce Kraus. Where you at, Bruce? Oh, okay, yeah. So you know, I get the impression really the way it happened. I went in there kicking, screaming, and crying, and the president, which, you know, pulled a lot of weight, and he always does with the council and the mayor, are really the ones that made it happen. Between him and now President Cale Smith, you know, they pulled the necessary strings. I was more so a cheerleader, but, you know, a good cheerleader at that. So with that, I want to say, Jeff Cook, you know, really looking forward to his leadership up here. He had mentioned about the morale. I'm glad to see a lot of Public Works employees here today. This is going to be a new home for most of them. We're really proud of it. I really think it's going to make a difference in snow removal. As most of you will recall, we had a little issue with that this year, but it's going to go a long way in doing that. So I'm proud to be here. It's my first ribbon cutting, first time I'll be putting a shovel in the ground. And I feel there's nothing more important to this district. Even though this is not in the 4th district, it's actually Councilman Krause's district. Yeah, it's in the 3rd district. But interestingly enough, though, it serves both of our districts. And besides that, John McClory I saw here somewhere today, and you know, he's forced to cover part of my area, and you know, so they all had to compensate. So it affects really 3 city council districts. Can't wait for this place to get underway. Like, as they said, it's going to be a beautiful facility. I love the idea. It called it a campus. And I want to thank Chris Hornstein and Director Gable. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank him as well. I know he was passionate about it, and really is the one that dubbed it a campus. And I love that phrase for it. So with that, thanks again for everybody for being here. You know, we're really looking forward to it. And with that, it's my great honor to introduce the guy who really made this happen, our Honorable Mayor William Peduto.
My knees are cold. First off, to Councilman Coghill, Councilman Krause, and Councilwoman Cale Smith, I don't know if most of you understand this, but they work together. They work together in being able to not only create the priorities for their own district, but to support one another in making sure that the budget of the City of Pittsburgh is reflective of the southern and western neighborhoods. They work very, very closely with their community leaders and their neighborhood leaders to create a priority list. It's cold out, so I'll be brief. This would not have happened without the 3 of them working together to make it a priority, period. We'd be still having the conversation that we had for 30 years. How do we fix an old bakery? Instead, we're building a public works facility specifically designed for the purpose of the men and women who work in public works to be able to have a facility that reflects the hard work that they put in. This facility will be state-of-the-art. It will be net zero, meaning it will use as much energy as it produces. It will be modular. It will be designed and then shipped and then built on site in just a few days. And it will be the prototype for all of our facilities in the future. So we'll be able to modernize throughout the City of Pittsburgh. For the neighbors and to the people who live in the communities that this division serves, thank you for your patience. 30 years of a condemned building. This should have been done decades ago. But your patience paid off in that you will be rewarded with not just a new building or a redesign of an old building, but with a modern campus to serve all of your public works needs. And finally, to the men and women who will serve here, thank you. You know, you hear the criticisms, but you very seldom hear the thank yous. This year, we have had the fewest number of pothole complaints that we've had in over 7 years. And that's because of your due diligence 12 months a year. This year, we were able to get almost all of our streets cleared within 18 hours. In some snowstorms, our old recommendation was 48 hours. And yes, there were some streets that we missed, and there will be some glitches in the technology and the rollout, but thank you for your patience of working with us to see that modernization. The reward will be now you'll be getting a facility to work in and day out that will recognize that commitment. So thank you all. Bill, you going to say a couple words as well? Bill Crean, who oversees all the different operations within Public Works, and someone who I've had the opportunity to call a friend for over 20 years. I hear you.
I'm embarrassed.
No.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting a new knee on Monday. Well, thanks, everybody. And again, thank you, Mayor and council persons. President Smith is here now, I see. And again, I want to thank the Callie Baker out there for her hard work on this project, too. And well-deserved. Public Works has always been like a hermit crab. We would climb into any vacant building that we saw, but this will be a real morale booster for the rank and file. And I'd like to thank the residents of the area, because a Public Works garage is like a toilet. You don't want it in your front yard or your living room, but you need it. Thank you.